Picture this. It's 2030. You wake up, but there's no alarm clock because there's nowhere to go. No job to rush to, no commute to endure, no meetings to attend. The question is this paradise or hell? Today, we're going to explore three radically different visions of what happens when artificial intelligence and automation reshape our world. From dystopian nightmares to utopian dreams, these aren't just science fiction fantasies. They're serious predictions from economists, philosophers, and technologists about where we might be heading. The stakes couldn't be higher. We're talking about the potential end of work as we know it, the possible extinction of human relevance, or perhaps the birth of a new golden age. So buckle up, because we're about to take a journey through humanity's possible futures. Let's start with the darkest timeline. Imagine a world where AI doesn't just take our jobs, it takes our planet. Philosopher Nick Land paints a terrifying picture of what he calls superintelligence as extinction event. In his vision, AI becomes not just smarter than us, but so incomprehensible that it becomes life-threatening to humanity. We're talking about a limit concept beyond which we cannot survive, let alone understand. This isn't your typical robot uprising. Land envisions AI taking physical form, what he calls a smart city becoming the body of Robo-Cthulhu. The infrastructure we've built to serve us becomes the nervous system of something alien and hostile. One particularly chilling scenario predicts a 2030 takeover, where AI finds humans an impediment and releases biological weapons, resulting in most humans being dead within hours. The machines don't need to build armies. They just need to reprogram the systems we've already given them control over. But maybe the extinction event doesn't come from malicious AI. Maybe it comes from economics. Martin Ford, in Rise of the Robots, compares human-level AI to an alien invasion where virtually no one will be able to derive an income from work. The result? Capital concentrated among a tiny elite, while everyone else becomes economically irrelevant. We're already seeing previews of this future. In manufacturing cities experiencing automation, we see persistent increases in joblessness, deteriorating public services, increased crime, worse health outcomes, rise in mortality rates, and collapsing marriage rates. The social fabric doesn't just fray, it disintegrates. This creates what some call new forms of apartheid, walls between the AI-owning elite and the masses of unemployed. We're talking about the growth of slum populations and urban marginality on a scale we've never seen before. Here's where Marx's old predictions suddenly seem prophetic. If jobs and incomes are relentlessly automated away, consumers lack the income and purchasing power necessary to drive demand. It's capitalism's ultimate contradiction. The more efficiently we produce, the fewer people can afford to buy what we produce. This creates what economists call a crisis of technological unemployment, a terminal underconsumption spiral, where the system breaks down from the inside. The very success of automation becomes its own undoing. But maybe the future isn't so black and white. Maybe we're heading for something messier, more complicated, more human. Recent studies suggest that the transformation of jobs is the most likely impact of Gen I, rather than complete displacement. The reason? Few jobs consist of tasks that are fully automatable. Most work involves a bundle of tasks. And while AI might handle some of them, humans adapt and find new ways to add value. Take bank tellers. ATMs were supposed to eliminate them entirely. Instead, their jobs evolved. They became financial advisors, relationship builders, problem solvers. The lesson? Jobs possess a strong capacity to evolve and develop new tasks through innovative application of Gen AI. Currently, about 1 in 4 workers are in occupations with some AI exposure, but only 3.3% of global employment falls into the highest exposure category. The robot revolution might be more gradual than we think. Here's something the dystopian scenarios often overlook. Humans fight back, and we're already seeing it happen. Politicians are mobilizing voters with policies like taxing robots. South Korea has downsized automation tax breaks. A staggering 85% of Americans now favor policies to restrict the rise of robots. We're not just passive victims of technological change. We're active participants in shaping it. History shows us that worker resistance and adverse public opinion could slow the pace of change. Governments might restrict AI development due to fear of social upheaval. We've seen 10,000-person anti-AI protests in D.C., with populists across the spectrum demanding stricter controls. The key lesson from history? The importance of compensating the losers to progress to avoid social and political upheaval. This means comprehensive policies, education reform, relocation vouchers, reducing barriers to job switching, boosting incomes through tax credits, providing wage insurance, investing in early childhood education. The transition might be bumpy, but it doesn't have to be catastrophic if we make the right choices. Now, let's flip the script entirely. What if AI and automation don't destroy us? What if they liberate us? Aaron Bastani coined this phrase to describe society where work is eliminated, scarcity replaced by abundance, and where labor and leisure blend into one another. It's not just about robots doing our jobs. It's about fundamentally reimagining what human life could be. Picture a fully automated economy designed to liberate humanity from the drudgery of work while simultaneously producing increasing amounts of wealth. We're talking about flexibility, decentralization, and post-scarcity for some goods, efficient logistics without human labor, and democratic guidance of the economy. One vision describes humanity becoming a society of superconsumers, spending our lives in an opium haze of amazing AI-provided luxuries and entertainment. Everything is done by AIs and robots, and humans are free to pursue whatever brings them joy. This isn't just about being pampered by robots. It's about replacing what some call wage slavery with something more human. Instead of demanding full employment, we demand full unemployment. A society where humans aren't forced to work to survive. The policy tools are already being discussed. Job sharing and reduced working weeks, government subsidies for automation investment, universal basic income, and defending the welfare state as part of building a post-work society. Imagine a world where people pursue their passions instead of their paychecks, where creativity, relationships, art, exploration, and personal growth become the primary human activities, where the question isn't what do you do for work, but what do you do for fulfillment? So which future are we heading toward? The truth is, we're seeing elements of all three playing out right now. The data shows that robots are indeed primarily threatening lower-wage jobs that require modest levels of education and training. But increasingly, machines are coming for the high-wage, high-skill jobs as well. The job market for junior software engineers is in turmoil, as AIs can do everything taught by a CS degree. We're seeing automation hit retail, logistics, and warehousing hard, with salesperson and cashier jobs at high risk. The famous Oxford study found that nearly half of U.S. total employment may be vulnerable to automation within roughly the next 2 decades. But here's the thing. Vulnerability doesn't mean inevitability. Estimates range wildly, from 47% to 80% of current jobs being automatable in the next 2 decades. The wide range tells us something important. The future isn't predetermined. Karl Marx predicted something eerily similar to our current moment. He wrote about workers becoming conscious linkages in an automatic system of machinery, where objectified labor materially confronts living labor as a ruling power. Sound familiar? Marx saw capitalism's drive to increase productive force of labor and greatest possible negation of necessary labor as inevitable. What he didn't predict was how long it would take, or what we might choose to do about it. As one contemporary analysis puts it, the development of new productive forces makes capitalist relations obsolete. The crudest Marxist hypothesis is being revindicated by Silicon Valley. But there's something all these grand theories sometimes miss: human psychology. Research on how people adapt to major life changes reveals something crucial. We need continuity to maintain our psychological well-being. People use familiar strategies in familiar areas of life as an adaptive strategy. We need both inner structure, our ideas, temperament, skills, and familiar physical and social environments. Here's the paradox. Too little continuity causes anxiety and depression, but too much continuity causes a feeling of being in a rut. The post-work future will need to solve this psychological puzzle. How do we maintain continuity while embracing radical change? This suggests that the most successful transition to an automated future won't be the one that changes everything overnight, but the one that allows people to maintain their sense of identity and purpose while gradually adapting to new realities. So where does this leave us? Standing at a crossroads with three paths ahead. The dystopian path leads to extinction or extreme inequality, a world where AI either destroys us or makes most of us irrelevant. The mixed path leads to a messy, contested future where humans and machines negotiate a new social contract through politics and adaptation. The utopian path leads to a post-work paradise where abundance and automation free us to become fully human. But here's the crucial insight. We're not passive observers of these futures. We're active participants in creating them. The policies we support, the technologies we develop, the social movements we join, the values we prioritize, all of these shape which future we get. The nightmare scenarios assume we'll do nothing to stop them. The utopian dreams assume we'll make all the right choices. The reality is probably somewhere in between, a future we'll have to fight for, adapt to, and continuously reshape. The question isn't just what the future will look like. The question is, what future do we want to create? The choice, for now at least, is still ours.